Ah, oops. When did I turn that off? Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna go home and delete the first 2 minutes of that video. Right, so we're looking at the homework on page 5. This could be a mistake because neither means none of the two. If you think this cell only has 2 iron bars, then this is fine. But if you think it has more than 2 iron bars, this should be none. None of the iron bars. Through the vast blue skies. This is spelled wrong, right? It should be Skies. Speeding swiftly as wild turkeys goes my heart. This sentence is reversed. The subject is my heart. My heart goes through, etc., etc. So it's singular. So go should be goes. Either my jailers or my honey has. Either means one of the two. So there's only one, has. Taken over every thought in my brain. I never think about the fish in the sea. Fish is the same in singular and plural. If you say fishes, then you're talking about different kinds of fish. But here, this person is not talking about the different kinds of fish. They're simply saying fish, lots of fish. Every single one of my waking moments is. It says every single one, right? So is devoted to you and to my 10 lawyers. Okay, so this next one is not exactly a rule. Most people no longer follow this rule, but if you have more than one subject, right? This is two subjects connected with the word and one of your subjects is yourself, I. You should always put yourself last. So this should be all the other prisoners and I. So this is for the subject. If you have more than one object and one of the objects is yourself, the word me, you should always put yourself first. So if this were in the object position, it should be um, me and all the other prisoners. So like somebody came to visit me and all the other prisoners in the object. But as a subject, I goes last. So all the other prisoners and I, except for my cellmate, have, right? So there's a debate. All can sometimes be singular because you're looking at the whole group as one group. And all can sometimes be plural because it's more than one. In this case, it has to be plural because you have two subjects. All the other prisoners and I. It's two subjects, more than one, so this should be have. Waited impatiently for your visit. Don't worry about the cellmate. Politics is. In English, if you're talking about a subject area or like a field of knowledge, politics, ethics, aesthetics, mathematics, economics, physics. These words are all singular. So politics is the only thing on his mind. 2 months have, right? 2 months, two of them have passed, and everyone is impatient. Everyone means every single person. So it is singular. Everyone, everything, these words are all singular. Everyone, also anyone. someone. We'll talk about this, I think, in 2 or 3 weeks. But these words are all singular. Everyone is impatient. I know you were busy, but the taxes, this is spelled wrong. It's missing an E. Taxes. So, of course, you should probably know the rule is if a word ends in S and you need a plural, you add ES. That's not exactly correct. The rule is if when you say the word, the last sound is S, then to form a plural, you have to add ES. So the word tax does not end with S, but if you say it, tax, the last sound is S. So the plural is ES, taxes. The taxes are paid. Your new downhill racing skis. This is spelled wrong. It should be SKIS. To distinguish this word from skies, which we saw earlier, are waxed. I know you love to ski. And still you are not here. Here are 2 tickets. Um, so I know we are very familiar with this sentence structure, right? Here or there, beginning a sentence. But in fact, this is in reverse order. The subject of this sentence is 2 tickets. So the verb should be plural. The correct order is 2 tickets are here. You're just emphasizing the here part. So this should be are. 2 tickets, 2 of them, plural, are. For the policemen, M-E-N, right? The plural of man is men. The plural of policeman is policemen. You befriended. They can accompany you on the train. I know you hate to travel alone. Speaking of alone, please bring the loot. Loot is, it should be singular. It's what we call a collective noun. So loot refers to all of the treasure and money that you get by stealing from something or someone. So if like you go and rob a bank, the money you get is called the loot. Even though it's a lot of money, maybe you have gold, you have jewelry, but put it all together and it is called loot. Kind of like luggage, right? 行李. It refers to many different things, but it is always singular. So loot, no S. From our last job, I need escape money. Also, bring 2 gold watches, ES, which are very handy for bribes. Okay, love Charlie. How many mistakes was that? 20. Okay, great. So we got them all. Do you have questions about this page? Okay, so that was the homework. Before we start talking about this week's unit, there's something else we should discuss. I sent you all a class email last night. So earlier in the semester, I mentioned that there will be some kind of online exchange program with Kasama City Junior High in Japan. And it's finally happening. It will happen on December 18. So on that day, the 5th period will be exchange and the 6th period will be grammar class. So here's what's going to happen. It's online exchange, right? And because this is related to another country, the event is very important for the school and also for the government. So everybody will participate. The other side has 60 students and we have almost 60 students, so it should go fine. Here's the thing. The Japanese students each student has their own little computer and their own little headphones with their little microphone. So there's no problem there. They can do everything online. We don't. So to solve this problem, we're going to divide into groups, 12 groups. And each group will prepare a laptop. The department has already prepared a separate classroom for each group so that you guys don't interfere with each other. So on the day, each group will go to your classroom. Uh, the other side will send I think it's a Google Meet invitation. So you join the room and then you all talk into one computer, but you will be talking to five, hang on, 50, 60 divided by 12. Yeah, five, right? Yeah, you will be talking to five Japanese students, five separate Japanese students on the screen. So there are a few things we have to do before that. We have to divide you into groups. We have to make sure you guys can communicate because as you can see from the schedule, it's not just talking. Uh, First 5 minutes, everybody will join in one big virtual room to say hello, take a picture, I guess. And then you will separate into your individual groups. The Japanese side will give a 10-minute presentation on their country and their hometown, so Kasama City, which in Chinese is Lijianshi. And then each group here, will give a 10-minute presentation on Taiwan and your hometowns. And then you will have 20 minutes of conversation, and then we go back to the big virtual room to say goodbye and I guess take a photo. So there's a bit of preparation we have to do. Each group, after you are divided into your groups, you will have to prepare a 10-minute presentation with slides. You can use PowerPoint, you can use Google Slides, you can use Canva, but there should be presentation slides. And for the conversation part, because they are junior high school students, their teacher has requested that we prepare questions for the conversation. You don't have to use all of the questions, but that way they are better prepared for the conversation. So we have to come up with a list of questions and then each group can use the same list. So I have prepared a Google Doc. I have started the list with 3 questions. Please add as many questions as you can think of, as long as it is appropriate for junior high school students. It doesn't have to be related to Taiwan or Japan. Any conversation question that you think might be interesting. Let's try to come up with 36 questions. And so before December 18, we will send them our questions. They will send us their questions, just, to be fair. And so on December 18, you will go directly to your assigned classroom, start the computer, and I will go around to make sure that the exchange is going smoothly for each group. So that would be 5th period. And 6th period, you guys all come back and we do grammar class. Questions? Yes. Right. Each group will prepare its own presentation, and then everybody in this class will add to one Google Doc the conversation questions. Okay? Yeah. it shouldn't be too hard, right? Talking about Taiwan and where you grew up. You just have to spend like half an hour talking with your group, preparing. Okay, other questions? And you get to meet some really cute junior high students from Japan. Okay, so if you don't have questions, let's divide you into groups now. Okay, let's talk about today's unit. Today's unit is the definite article, otherwise known as the. That's right, we're going to spend one whole week on this three-letter word. English is special. Not many languages in the world have this kind of word. In fact, the BBC once said that this word, the, is the most powerful word in the English language. It does something that other languages cannot do. It uses a concept that other languages do not have, and therefore it gives you a way of thinking that other languages cannot give you. So what does this word do? You will most commonly see it when there's only one of something, right? The president. There's only one president. The teacher. In any classroom, there is usually only one teacher. Also, the tallest, well, person is not really, the tallest building, right? The fastest. In a context, if there is only one, you would use the word the. But when I say only one, that also includes only one group. Or so, for example, students is plural. But if you take all of the students in this context, right, this class is one context, you only have one group. So you also would add the word the. In this parking lot, you only have these cars. So the group of these cars, you would add the word the. If I'm talking to you about a book, and then later I said, hey, remember the book? In this context, there's only one book. It is the book that I was talking to you about. So you start to see the power of this word, right? Now we can say things like, so in this context, there is only one young girl. Which young girl? Usually this context is when you're telling a story. Like Little Red Riding Hood went through the forest to go find her grandmother, but she didn't know that the big bad wolf was noticing her. The wolf. So in that context, there's only one wolf. Maybe it's in the forest, there's only one wolf. Maybe it's in the story, there's only one wolf. The word the tells you we're just talking about this one or this group. That's it. So most of these examples, you can see the contexts. And so you can tell in this context, there's only one or there's only one group. But the power of the word the is that it can create the context. If you add the word the, it tells the reader or the other person there is only one or there is only one group. It's like a movie camera. If I bring a camera in this room, I can't capture everything. I can only look in one direction. The word the tells you which direction. It tells you in this picture only. So, very fun example. I went to the mafia boss to pay him the respect. To pay somebody respect means, they are important. You go visit them to show that you recognize that they're important. Usually we don't add the word the, but in the context of the mafia, they often will use the word the to pay somebody the respect, to show somebody the respect. Why? Because it's not just about respecting them. It's about showing the proper respect. Within a group like the mafia, every important person has their own status on the level of hierarchy. So depending on how important somebody is, you need to show them a specific level of respect. So you go to the mafia boss to pay him the respect. In this context, there's only one kind of action or behavior that would be appropriate. So the word the creates the context. Or if I say, well, have you guys seen The Matrix? 骇客任务? No, I'm getting old. Okay. There's a scene in the movie. Yes, I'm going to use this example even though you don't know what I'm talking about. There's a scene in the movie where the main character enters a kitchen and the woman in the kitchen says, "Don't worry about the vase. A vase is a flower pot." Now, this is the first thing that she says to him. He just entered the kitchen, no idea what's going on. And she says, "Don't worry about the vase." So, of course, he says, "What vase?" And as he turns around to look for the vase, he knocks it over. There's a vase right beside him. He turns, he knocks it, and it falls to the ground. So the lady in the kitchen is talking about the one vase in the kitchen, the one vase that he's going to break. So compare the use of the with the use of a. Maybe I should use an easier example. A young girl went. No, that's also not a good example. Yeah, let's use the vase one. Don't worry about a vase. So if you use the, this is a specific vase. If you use a, it's more like whether there is a vase. We don't know that there's a vase. So don't worry about it. So for example, you would use this second sentence like if I go visit your home or something, I don't know, and I bring flowers and I give them to you and you're like, "Oh, such great flowers. I should go find a vase to put them in." And I say, "Oh, don't worry about a vase. These flowers don't need water. They're fake." So is there a vase? Could be not. There is no specific vase. Let's do another comparison. Uh, take the bus to Taipei versus take a bus to Taipei. If you say take the bus to Taipei, that means there's only one bus to Taipei. It's a specific bus. If you say take a bus to Taipei, that means there's more than one bus to Taipei. You can take any one. So the word the puts the thing you're talking about into a specific context. It is the only thing you are talking about. Let's do another example. Usually we would say the second one. It's getting cold, so you should put on a coat. I'm not thinking of a coat. We're not talking about a coat. I'm saying any coat. But if I say it's getting cold, so you should put on the coat, I'm talking about a specific coat. Maybe it's the coat that I gave you for your birthday last year, but all last winter I didn't see you wear it. And I'm thinking, do you not like the coat? Do you not like me? Maybe you just don't have a chance to wear it. So I'm deliberately suggesting to you that you should wear that coat. And when I say the coat, then your mind is thinking, oh, he's talking about a specific coat. Which one could it be? It must be a special coat. It must be the one that he gave me for my birthday. So the word the creates the context. Let's do a plural example. Hmm. Okay, so usually you will say see the first sentence, right? 5 students will win a prize. Uh, maybe it's the best performing 5 students, whatever. But if you see the 5 students will win a prize, first of all, we're looking at these 5 students, 5 specific students. Secondly, we're looking at them as a group, these 5 students. So in this case, maybe these 5 students worked together to do something good for the school. Maybe they like caught a criminal. Maybe they found something important that was lost. Maybe they worked together to hold a charity event. But these 5 students worked as a group. And so we're going to focus on these 5 specific students as a group, and we're going to give all 5 of them a prize. The word the creates a context. You can also use the for uncountable nouns. Um, so I can't spell today. Our arms. Okay. So in this sentence, the word hair is uncountable. But if you're talking about a specific location of hair on our arms, you are specifying like what kind of hair or where it is. Now it is a specific uh, frame of hair. It's a specific grouping of hair. It is a specific area of hair. So the hair on our arms stood up usually means either it's very cold or it's very scary. In Chinese, another way of saying this is we got goosebumps on our arms. In Chinese, 起了鸡皮疙瘩. Okay, so because the concept of the is not existent in Chinese or in most other languages, this is usually the one word that can tell native speakers whether you are a native speaker or not. Even if every other aspect of your English is perfect, you may still mess up the word the. The only solution to this is more practice. So let's practice. Do you have questions? Okay, the wind has a question, but I can't understand it. Okay, so let's practice. Page 6 on your handout. Let's do these 5 questions together. Number 1. Oh, look at moon. It's beautiful tonight. Should we add a the here? Yes. Why? There's only one moon. We're on Earth. Earth only has one moon. If we're on Jupiter, 木星, then you can't say the moon because Jupiter has like 10,000 moons. So you have to say which moon. But on Earth, we have one. So the moon. Number 2, I saw a cat and a bird outside my window. Cat was trying to catch a bird, but it didn't succeed. Bird flew away. A cat and a bird. Are these correct? Yes, because before this, we have no context for what cat, what bird. So there is no context, is fine. But starting here, we are now talking about this cat and this bird. So the cat, the specific cat, was trying to catch the specific bird, but it didn't succeed. The bird flew away. So you see, after the first sentence, now that we have a specific context with a cat and a bird, and we're talking about them, you have to use the to show that we are talking about these two. Number 3, the birds have the wings. Many insects have wings too. Is this the correct? It is not. It's the first sentence. There is no context. It's basically saying all birds. So you don't need the. All birds have wings. No the. We're not talking about any specific wings. So birds have wings. Many insects have wings too. The logic for this wings is the same as the last one. The logic for this insects is the same as for birds. We have not met insects in this sentence before, so no the. Number 4, we all look for the happiness. Is that the correct? No. There are many different kinds of happiness. We have not talked about any specific kind of happiness. Remember the example about respect? Usually you pay respect, but for that specific mafia boss, you need to show a specific kind of respect, the respect. Here, we do not have a specific context for this happiness, so it's just happiness. No need to add the word the. And question 5, I have book. This is wrong. Should we add a or the? If you think a, raise your hand. If you think the, raise your hand. The answer is it depends. Two different contexts. If you say I have a book, that means that somebody would likely want to know that you have a book, but they don't care what the book is. Any old book could do. If you say I have the book, that means everybody is thinking about the same book. Maybe it's a textbook. Maybe you're in a reading club and nobody remembered to bring the book. And you say, oh, I have the book, the specific book that you all need, that you all are thinking about, that you all are talking about. So, um, like, if today it's after the end of the world, there's no electricity, and we need to make a fire. And nobody has like loose paper or wood. But then I realized, hey, we're in a school, or what used to be a school. It's the end of the world. Surely there should be books, right? Books we can burn for fire. Does anyone have a book? And then if you have a book, you might say, oh, I have a book. So in this case, I don't care what kind of book. I don't care which book. Any book is fine. But again, like if today this is a literature class and we have a textbook, um, and I walk in and I forgot to bring my textbook, I might say, hey, does anyone have the book I can borrow this week? And so if you are willing to lend me your textbook, you might say, I have the book. Here you go, teacher. And I would thank you and give you 5 points. Okay, questions about these 5? Yes, Jingwei. Right. So usually we talk about like concrete things or people, but abstract concepts also work in the same way. Usually, if there's no special reason, there's no special context, there's no specific uh, situation, you would not need to add the. This sentence has no specific context, has no special information, so you don't need to say the happiness. But if you do add a specific context or information, then you do need to add the word the. For example, we all look for the happiness in our marriages. Right? So in our marriage would be a specific context. And usually we expect our marriages to have happiness. Right? So happiness is part of the idea of marriage. So when we're talking about happiness in marriage, it is a specific context. It is a specific kind of happiness. So we would say the happiness in our marriage. Okay? Okay. Of course, some people don't expect happiness in their marriage. And for those people, my advice is to get a divorce. Other questions? Okay, let's continue. These 6, it's your turn to do these questions. 6 questions. I will give you 6 minutes. You are welcome to discuss with your classmates. Sorry, I should add, we usually do not add the word the before names, people or places. No the. Usually, there's always an exception. Okay, number 1. It's beautiful today. Sun is shining and the sky is clear. Liu Zhenxing, where are the mistakes? Is this correct? Is it sun or the sun? How many suns do we have? 1. So this should be, there's only 1, so this should be the sun, right? Good. How many skies do we have? 1. So this should be the sky. Good. Number 2. There's a boy on a swing and a girl is pushing him. Boy is about 5 years old and girl is about 8 years old. Yao Zehong, Zai Hong. Number 2, please. How about this boy? Is this any boy or a specific boy at the beginning of the second sentence? It's a specific boy, right? Yeah, so this should be the boy. Good. How about this girl? Is it a girl or the girl? The girl. Good. Number 3. The penguins live in Antarctica. The polar bears don't live in Antarctica. 林婕妤，在吗? Yes, number 3. Is this the correct? Are we talking about a specific group of penguins? No, right? So no the here. How about polar bears? Is this the correct? Are we talking about a specific group of polar bears? No, so this is not correct. There's no specific group, there's no specific context. So we just take out the. Penguins live in Antarctica, polar bears don't live in Antarctica. Okay? Okay, good. Number 4, which is more important, the love or the money? Wang Liting, 在吗? Yes, number 4, please. Good. Love or money, but singular. 单数. In this case, money we know usually is uncountable. And in this case, love is the abstract concept of love, also uncountable. So both are singular. Okay, good. Number 5, A, what does this word mean? B, do you have dictionary? Look up word in dictionary. Yang Zhenhan, 在吗? 哦，所以刚刚门突然打开是他离开的。OK，好。庄宇轩 number 5. Do you have, are we talking about a specific dictionary? No, so this should be the or a dictionary, good. How about here? The word and the dictionary. Good, yes. This word is this word. This dictionary is this dictionary. They are both specific. You need to add the. Number 6. A, watch out. There's a bee buzzing around. B, where? I don't see it. Ouch, it stung me. I didn't see bee, but I felt it. Li Kai-chen. Yes, number 6. Is this a B? Is this correct? Correct, okay. What about the second B? Is this correct? I didn't see B. I didn't see. No, it is didn't, but the word B, is it a B or the B? Are we talking about a specific B? Yes, so it should be the B, right? Okay, good. Okay, do you have questions about this page? All right, page. Oh, we're done. That's next week. Okay, so for the rest of today, please use this time to talk with your group members in preparation for the exchange activity. I will be here to answer questions. Enjoy, no homework.